Been a long time coming since I seen your face. I've been everywhere and back, trying to replace everything that I had till my feet went numb. Praying like a fool, it's been on the run. Heart still beating, but it's not working. It's like $1,000,000 phone that you just can't ring. I reached out trying to love, but I feel nothing. Yeah, my heart is numb. But with you, I feel again. Yeah, with you, I can feel again. Yeah. Place everything that I broke till my feet went numb. Praying like a fool, just shy of a gun. Heart still beating, but it's not working. It's like 100,000 voices that just can't sing. I reached out trying to love, but I feel nothing. Oh, my heart is numb. But with you, I feel again. Yeah, with you,
to be everything I've dreamed of, and I know it's in me that I will become who I wanna be. And I finally found it, and I'm taking a long way out, 'cause it's gonna be something special to me, something special to me. I know your eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, and then softly leave. To show how deep is your love, how deep is your love. I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of
Feel. To feel is all he ever looked for. Riding his bike to the horizon and back. Falling from the sky, floating with the clouds. silent in the deep ocean, leaving the world adrift, bobbing on choppy waters, taking the world in. She sat in the corner with the wind beside her, both trembling with each other's touch. He saw her, and he never looked again. Smile. To smile is all she ever looked for. Crossing 7 seas, trading day for night. In the kindness of certain strangers, and the strangeness of certain kinds. Trekking the new world, looking for the old-fashioned. Like Park's touch, like Eleanor's disintegration. And then came that unexpected embrace. She saw him, and she never looked again. About a month after Sean and Connie met, they went diving in Monterey. It was a stormy Sunday. It was cold, the water was choppy, and the boat bobby. They were advised not to take the dive, but they did not want the weather to hold them back. To Sean's surprise, who was just getting to know Connie at that time, she insisted that they at least attempt the dive. And that, Sean later told me, left a very strong impression on him. Anyway, after they both surfaced, the wind had picked up. Connie was cold, nauseous for that matter, and very uncomfortable. Sean, being the gentleman he is, he immediately noticed and went to comfort her. He put his arms around her, gave her hot tea, which he had prepared early on and brought with him. He did everything he could to make her comfortable, to make her happy, to make her smile. The following morning, I had an email in my mailbox, and the subject read, "He's the one." And having known Connie for a little while, and quite well if I may say, that came as a complete surprise to me, because I knew that she really did not believe in the concept of the one. She'd always been this self-sufficient, practical individual who did not need to be rescued by Prince Charming like they have in fairy tales. So those words coming from her held some meaning, held some significance. Her words had the certainty about love that they never had before. So it was that stormy Sunday, that dive, that cold day on the turbulent water, with everything leading up to that day, that they both knew. She knew she found her knight in charming armor, and all of a sudden she was a believer. And he knew he'd met the perfect girl who was brave and adventurous and fiercely independent, but in a way that made him want to take care of her.
Definitely, yeah.
And having the privilege to have known both of them for a while, I could not agree more. Connie with her effortless charm, and Sean with his endless charisma. She with her passion, he with his calm. She with her free spirit, and he with his optimism. There are no two people more perfect for each other. He catches her when she falls, and she makes him want to strive for more in life. They both take each other higher. Today is my deepest pleasure and greatest honor to be standing over here to make them one. So without further ado, let's witness the beginning of the rest of their lives. Sean, please repeat after me. I, Sean, take you, Connie, as my favorite person.
I, Sean, take you, Connie, as my favorite person.
To laugh with you,
To laugh with you,
go on adventures with you,
go on adventures with you,
support you through life's toughest moments,
support you through life's toughest moments,
always be proud of you,
always be proud of you,
grow old with you,
grow old with you,
and find new reasons to love you every day.
and find new reasons to love you every day.
Now, Connie, repeat after me. I, Connie, take you, Sean, as my favorite person,
I, Connie, take you, Sean, as my favorite person.
to laugh with you,
To laugh with you,
go on adventures with you,
go on adventures with you,
support you through life's tough moments,
support you through life's tough moments,
always be proud of you,
always be proud of you,
grow old with you,
grow old with you,
and find new reasons to love you every day.
and find new reasons to love you every day.
Sean and Connie, do you promise to be each other's partners in crime, to bring out the best in one another, be patient and understanding with each other, share your best and worst moments together, and love each other absolutely for the rest of this lifetime, for whatever may come?
I do.
I do.
By the power vested in me by the internet and the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Mr. Morrison, you may kiss Mrs. Morrison.
Love you.
Love you too. Rashawn did a really good job.
I know.
That was so good.
Amazing. It's so amazing.
You good?
Oh my god.
Perfect. Did it.
I had a dream so big and loud. I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky. We danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'm never gonna look back. Whoa, I'm never gonna give it up. No, please don't wake me now. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My life. This is gonna be the best day of my life. My
All right, folks, for those of you who don't know how this game works, pink is going to represent Connie, blue is going to represent Sean, all right? Who is the better driver? Oh, look at that, folks. Got some alignment there in the first one.
That was easy. That was easy.
Yeah. All right. Now, who is more likely to experience road rage? Know thyself, huh, Sean? Who's more likely to get injured? Interesting. I'm sure there's a funny story behind that.
More than one.
Who's more likely to get sunburned? Looks like you guys should both be slathering up some SPF. All right, who is more likely to be running late? Right ahead. Who is the better dresser? Attaboy. Attaboy. Who starts the argument? Is it about him running late? Who is the first to say I'm sorry? Good. That bodes well. All right. Who spends more money?
On her.
Who is more likely to fall asleep watching TV?
Because we watch her shows.
Interestingly, who's in control of the TV remote? Is that what puts you to sleep? Who is more likely to get lost? And who is more likely to ask for directions? Makes sense. All right, who's the biggest baby when they get sick? Who always replaces the toilet paper roll? Who squeezes the toothpaste from the middle of the tube? Who chooses where to have dinner? Who is the better cook? Well, who's better at doing the dishes? Who calls their parents the most? Who wears the pants in the relationship? Sean, are you wearing pants now?
That's a
Who
cheater
is the
question.
better kisser?
What is it? Sorry.
Who is the better kisser? Who hits the snooze button the most? Let's see. Okay. If you haven't yet, who is more likely to pass gas in front of the other? No comment, huh? Who is more prepared for the zombie apocalypse? Who takes longer to get ready in the morning? You're prepping for the zombie apocalypse. Let me tell you. Who's going to be the first to fall asleep tonight? All right. It's on. Who do you love the most in the whole wide world? Let's hear it for Connie and Sean, everybody.
Once I can say this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I've got love, I can make it. For once in my life, I got someone who needs me. I can say this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I got love, I can make it. For once in my life, I got someone. For once in my life, I found someone. For once in my life, I got someone who needs me.
If you were falling
At this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. Nice round of applause for Dorothy.
He's telling me I need the mic. I must confess to being a bit intimidated because if you look behind me, they had bits of paper and they were all prepared. And so what I have to say just simply comes from the heart. I'm sure those of you that are parents know that there's nothing you wish more for your children than their happiness. And I know that they found it in each other. And I am so happy to welcome Connie to our family. And I'm so grateful. And I pray that you may be as happy for the rest of your lives as you are this day. But I'd be remiss if I didn't take an opportunity to say a few things about my son, Sean. Needless to say, from the moment of birth, he was an extraordinary child. His inquisitiveness, his joy for life, his willing to take risks. Would you believe he read the World Book Encyclopedia from beginning to end when he was in elementary school? And I mean that quite seriously. We would go to bed, he would go to bed at night, and his dad and I would hear this kerplunk, and it was the book falling to the ground. And he has this incredible memory, and so he would be telling us the next day at the table everything we didn't know, which of course was a lot. Another very fond memory I have, I could go on endlessly, but I meant perhaps Van and David, his childhood friends, were a part of this, was when he took the MG apart in our garage. Literally took the whole thing apart. And I thought it would never go again. And of course it did. Of course it did. And maybe this is a time for me to thank you, Sean. As you know, his dad died. And Sean stepped up to the plate and became a man of a house when he was much too young. And I am eternally grateful for you, Sean, for those years. I appreciate it so very, very, very much. But I think it really comes down to 3 words. And these 3 words were spoken by his dad in Gaelic when Sean was a very little boy and he was baptized. And they're my beloved son. And Sylvia, if you don't mind, if I may say to you, Connie, my beloved daughter. And so I would ask you, please, to raise a glass to this wonderful couple. And I wish them a long and healthy life and much, much happiness. To Connie and Sean. And now the real speakers. May I introduce? Shirley.
Thank you for that introduction. Well, I have like 3 pages of paper, and I haven't quite worked out this juggling thing yet. But I'm actually pregnant with my 2nd child, so this is probably going to be a very good practice trying to juggle and toast and speak into a microphone. So if there's a lot of rattling going on, please excuse me. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Shirley Tung, and I've had the pleasure of calling Connie my best friend for the past 16 years. When people asked how we became friends, most of them received the shortened version of the story, that we met during our freshman year at UC Berkeley. We rarely share the detailed version of how we met, because in comparison to the numerous stories we could tell about each other, it's quite mundane in comparison. But it is a story I'd like to share with you tonight, because it reveals the vitality at the core of Connie that I love and treasure. During our freshman year, Connie and I lived off campus in 2 separate converted frat houses, not actual frat houses. That would be a completely different story. And these frat houses, converted frat houses, were managed by the same shrewd Chinese proprietor. While the 30 residents in the house that I lived in had the free use of a tiny, ill-equipped kitchen, the residents of Connie's house had a mandatory meal plan cooked up by none other than that shrewd Chinese proprietor's wife. Back in those days, I could barely boil pasta, And the thought of living off the Costco supply of ramen, top ramen I had under my bed, seemed wholly unappealing. So I paid extra to the landlord to have a meal plan at that other house. Every night I would make a half-mile solitary trek to line up among strangers for my dinner, then plonk myself in my tray at the table closest to the TV, hoping to disguise my awkwardness at being the only outsider among a bustling household. This routine only continued for a period of 3 weeks before it was thankfully interrupted by Connie's welcoming smile as she decided one day to slide her tray across from mine. Connie identified me for what I was back then, a first-generation college student raised by strict, overprotective Asian parents, and someone who was having difficulty adjusting to living on her own for the first time. Or, as Connie would put it in her version of the story, easy prey. And here I think Connie is being extremely modest, because out of the 30-something residents who saw me day in and day out, Connie was the only one that bothered to say a word to me. Indeed, there are not many people out there who would turn their back, and this is the awkward part, on a set of ready-made friends to extend their heart to a stranger. I can honestly say that if the roles were reversed, I'm not even sure if I would do what Connie did. But as I've come to know Connie intimately for the past decade and a half, I find that she's one for taking, to quote Robert Frost, the road less traveled. Sorry, Connie, I'm an English professor. I just had to throw one literary reference on Shakespeare's birthday. You're here. In other words, Connie defines herself by the moments that she bravely seizes the chances that most people would only dream of taking. Don't get me wrong. Connie is one of, if not the most level-headed, practically minded, no-nonsense people that I know. But she is also an adventurer and a romantic at the core. Connie is someone who can painstakingly craft and stick to a 5, 10, 15-year goal. And believe me, she has. While we were at college, she had her future sketched out in terms that resemble her current reality. She would be a successful businesswoman, working in a job that enabled her to travel the country and the world. And she would live in one of the world's most vibrant metropolises. And if she decided to get married, it would only be to an equally successful, tall, handsome, and intelligent man who could keep up with her and her lifestyle.
I knew I liked the truth.
I know I like you too. Yet Connie is also the same woman who moved to New York City on a whim, without a job or without a solid plan. She's a wanderer who can turn up in London for the first time on her own, with only a backpack and rough directions to a hostel that looks like a building out of Blade Runner. I'm sorry for that recommendation, Connie. She's a die-hard Sex and the City fan whose heart soars, breaks, and soars again with every encounter and ordeal that Carrie has with Mr. Big, because she too believes in the concept of the one. In short, Connie is someone who isn't afraid of starting fresh when her old life does not offer her the fulfillment that she deserves. And that is what led her back to the city by the bay nearly 3 years ago and into Sean's life. From the moment that Connie first told me about Sean, I could sense that he was that special someone who could excite that vitality that I love and admire so much in Connie. With an adventurous spirit that matches hers, Sean is ever willing to take a plunge into the unknown, whether it's literally into the murky, turbulent waters of Monterey Bay, as he did when they went scuba diving on one of their first dates. Obviously a very memorable experience for everyone, including all the friends that were told about it. Or figuratively, as he did when he generously and unwittingly agreed to accompany Connie on a trip to the backwaters of Kansas to meet the sleep-deprived, anxious, and newly mommified version of myself and my 1-month-old daughter. So you're kind of due with coming for a second trip around the same period of time.
We're there.
Sean's ability to go with the flow when it comes to life and love only complements Connie's knack for meticulous planning, but it also keeps that part of Connie which spontaneously takes a chance at friendship with a shy stranger or a bite of the Big Apple, forever thriving and present. So let us raise our glasses to my best friend, Connie, and to her Mr. Big, Sean. May they always have, in the words of Carrie Bradshaw, real love, ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other love. I love you guys. And now let's have a round of applause for the next speaker, Sheldon.
Okay, so I'm speaking from my heart because I have nothing prepared. So, you're not alone. I'm doing this just to help you out, right? So, Sean and I call him my soul brother from another mother. It's an interesting time here for me to be standing here speaking to you guys. So it kind of has, and I have this ear infection. My whole neck, side of my neck and head are swollen. So if I say something completely ridiculous, please give me a little bit of leeway. I can't really think straight right now. Today, when I was contemplating, I'm going to say something for Sean, it was kind of flavored by some other things that are going in my life right now. My mother-in-law is in Ireland, and I'm not trying to put it down on tonight, but she actually ended up burying her husband of the last 18 years today. So we were sending, thoughts and prayers and love to my mother-in-law and her family, and he passed away completely unexpectedly. Absolutely just, on Tuesday, just without any notice. So they were at a different kind of a service. And, families flying out from all over the world, family and friends traveling great distances, getting together, having a dinner, just like this, much like this, but with a very different tone to it, right? And it was kind of coloring some of the thoughts that I was having about today, but then what came to me was that it's very similar in the fundamental factor, and the fundamental factor is love, that they came together out of love. That Brian and Philomena had a loving relationship, that they were together for 17, 18 years in love. And that moment, while it didn't have as much of a celebratory feeling, obviously, it was a celebration of love. And so here we are today in a much more joyous and happy occasion, but ultimately what it is a celebration of love, of family and friends coming together to celebrate love between my brother and his beautiful wife. And my heart is full, and I just feel really, really, really happy for you, for both of you. And I just wanted to say that, remember the love, feel the love, be the love, remember the love, that when you look back with perspective on something like that, a journey like that, like Philomena and Brian took, that, it's all about the love. And I think that we all are here together because of that love for our friend, for our sister, our brother, our family member. It's always about love, and that's what this celebration is all about. And I'm very honored and blessed and grateful to be able to share that with you guys. Thank you. And now, David, good old longtime friend of Sean's, going way back.
Thanks, Sheldon. So, the instruction I got about this evening was, and saying a few words was, maybe just a sentence or two. So, I guess, best wishes and let's get back. No. So I have known Sean for quite some time. We, for those of you who don't know, we actually first met in kindergarten. We grew up, just a few blocks from each other. There was a period of a number of years when Sean was out of the country and we were in different schools, and then we reconnected in high school and really have had quite a close relationship since, and I consider it one of the great blessings of my life to have someone who I've known and shared so much with. So you would think that, with that long history that I would have a number of embarrassing stories to tell, and we figured this is the kind of event where you would do that. The odd thing was, as I thought in my mind about embarrassing stories and Sean, most of them are embarrassing to me, but I'll share just a couple of them because I think they give you a sense of Sean's personality too. I used to go over and visit Sean in the evenings. Sometime we'd do homework together or whatnot, and I would be over at his place. And I'm a person who falls asleep very easily. I can't stay awake if I'm tired. And there was one evening that I was over at his place and fell asleep as we were busy doing something on the floor in his room, and studying whatnot. Yeah, I feel this tapping on my shoulder. He's like, David, wake up. And he had set the clock forward so that it was the next morning, and I was late for school. And so I woke up with a start, and I looked at the clock, and he's like, "Hey, you're late for school." And I ran all the way back home in the middle of the night, and only to realize my parents were still up. So that's kind of the flavor of his sort of sense of humor and what he used to do. We lived together when we were in college, and so there was another incident when he sprinkled cayenne pepper on my favorite crackers and put them back in their container in the cupboard. So that was an interesting one. And then the pièce de résistance, he actually worked at a coffee place just down the street from our house, and I wasn't a big coffee drinker at the time. And I went to see him there. He was just getting off work. We were going to go someplace, and he's like, "Oh, we have these special cookies that we made today, and would you like to take one?" It was the kind of pressurized remains of the coffee grinds that are in the espresso machine. And so he handed me one of those. He had told the whole place too. So we walked outside, and I took a bite into this and spat it out on the ground. The place erupted in laughter inside. So you get a sense. I don't have a lot of of stories that are embarrassing to him, but maybe the fact that he's such a practical joker will be embarrassment enough in this context. If you didn't know that about him already, and a little bit more of a bit of seriousness. Sean is someone that I admire very much, and I'm inspired by quite a bit, and in particular because he's someone who has always had big dreams and big goals. And he's always pursued them with tremendous passion when they may be challenging, when the road to achieving them may not be really clear, and when there might be sacrifice involved. And there's so many of examples of these kinds of things in his life that he's done, and so many adventures that he's had as a result. And I always thought of him as the friend of mine whose life I would love to lead for all the adventures that he's had, but I don't know that I could pursue the big dreams with as much passion as he has. And obviously when he met Connie and kind of set his sights on her, I think that this became one of his big passions and dreams, and it I think was with its own challenge and sacrifice that he pursued that. And of course, why not? Connie is a beautiful, intelligent, very accomplished person who I've had the pleasure to get to know over the last couple of years, or year and a half since they've been dating, and I've just seen that same spark of how Sean has these big dreams and this big kind of vision for his life, and just really with complete passion goes after that. So in a way, I could think of tonight, and tonight is its own event that took a lot to put together as kind of the fulfillment of that particular dream that he had, and I presume Connie shares. But I'm going to guess that they probably don't see it exactly that way. I don't see it exactly that way, because tonight isn't really so much about the fulfillment of a big goal that they've had, but kind of the beginning of this adventure together, right? And the goal that they share now going forward in marriage is like the biggest goal that you could have in life, to support each other in understanding who they are and living into their full potential as human beings, and being there for each other as they both do that together. And that's really kind of the biggest adventure, the most challenging goal that either of them could have. And they are, I believe, together, as Sheldon was describing, the love that's brought them together is because they are meant to help each other on that journey and on that path. So my wish for you tonight is that the same passion that you've both brought, the same sense of sacrifice and willingness to endure, you know, the unknown path ahead that you've brought to every goal that you've ever set for yourselves, that you bring to this one as well. And that the love that brought you together and that brought you to this night also sustains you through that sort of most inspiring and beautiful and magical adventure that you could possibly have together. So I don't have a glass, but the rest of you, we will have one more toast to Connie and Sean. And as our final speaker, I believe, I invite Harmony to come.
Okay, so you guys are probably gonna laugh, but I actually have it on my phone because I do a lot of things on the go. So, well, first of all, congratulations to Connie and Sean. You both look amazing. Everything here looks amazing. The food is delicious. Everything. Really happy for you. So Connie and I met in 2000 at the CalSO orientation at Berkeley, and we hit it off immediately, maybe because we were both so tall, towering over everyone, or equally as nervous. We were both pretty nervous, and but somehow we knew we were a lot alike in many ways. Our friendship was an instant camaraderie. We knew we were a lot alike. We could both be open with each other from the start. The first class we had together was Psych 101. And we had many more classes together thereafter, both majoring in psychology. We took every opportunity to walk to school together. I would walk over to her house, and her room was actually underground. So I just knock on the window and she'd peek out, and she knew it was time to go. During those walks, we confided in each other about family, college life, and matters of the heart. Not much has changed in that regard, except now we have to do most of our catching up over the phone. But even still, we can go months without talking due to busy schedules and whatnot, and still be able to pick up where we left off and catch each other up to speed. Pretty fast, actually. We actually make appointments for our phone calls now. I got to hear a lot of great stories about her time in China, New York, Oxford, and San Francisco. She has always been the kind of friend who listens carefully and actively. I've always been able to confide in her without the fear of judgment, and that's a quality hard to find. She is compassionate, very loyal, open-minded, intelligent, and just a beautiful person all around. Connie has always had goals and is a go-getter, as you've heard and as you probably already know. She's always planning for the future and doing whatever she can to live her life to the fullest. She has many hobbies, takes time to see the world, and surrounds herself with amazing people. Which brings me to Sean. Since I live in El Centro, which is about 10 hours southeast of here in Southern California, I've only been able to spend time with Sean on 3 other occasions, not including today. And as I got to know him, I knew that he and Connie were going to make each other very happy. He is everything Connie would share with me about him over the phone. Kind, patient, intelligent, and thoughtful. I look forward to getting to know him better in the future. I'm so ecstatic for both of you. Cherish each other always. Much love to you both. I love you. So if you'll raise your glasses to Connie and Sean. Cheers.
I've been asked to speak, unprepared, did not want to speak, just wanted to sit here and eat and drink. But I'm very, very touched by everything that everybody's had to say, not just in these very considerate speeches, but also, you know, the conversations I've got to have with all of you, brief as they may be, while I've been circulating around. So on behalf of Connie and I, thank you so much for being so open, considerate, thoughtful, traveling so far. It means the world to us. Like this is kind of what, you know, love is, not just us, but having everybody here expressing their feelings and sharing things with us. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's Carl. You hear that?
Put your hands together for the newlyweds. The first time as husband and wife. We're going to be dancing to Michael Bublé, You and I.
Here we are on earth together. It's you and I. God has made us fall in love, it's true. I've really found someone like you. Will it say the love you feel for me? Will it say that you will be by my side to see me through until my life is through? We can conquer the world in love, you and I, you and I, you and I.
Ladies and gents, Connie and Sean asked that I invite everyone out halfway in. Please join us. Come on down.
At least in my life, I've found someone that may not be here forever to see me through. But I found my strength in you. 'Cause in my mind, you will stay here always in love, you and you and you and you and in my mind. But I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? When the chimes ring 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right in 7 heaven.
It's like the bathroom in the pool house.
Call the police and the firemen are too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man, I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am, I'm too hot. And my band about that one, break it down. Girl, said you hallelujah. Girl, said you hallelujah. Girl, said you hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. So I'm in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Everybody wanna be someone else. I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Fine, so fine. Sleepers in the pool, your hair, my hands, I want to jail watch you. Can't wait for you to look at you, did tip. Not many women can refute it, but I'm a nice guy, but you get it, you get it.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance.